All right. So, hey, I'm Kevin.
My name is Damian.
This is Kevin and Damian's movie podcast. Today, it's um October. No,
No,
it's not.
no.
No, it's not October. That's the whole point. It's because it's August, like 17th, right?
18.
Yeah, 18th. So it's and but we are doing a Halloween episode, and we have Trick or Treat that we're gonna play in the background. Put it on mute real quick, and if you want to follow along, you're more than welcome. Wait, I should have said something. Okay, we're playing it in 3, 2, 1, go.
And introduce the guest. Or is it?
Oh, really? Okay, all right.
We don't need any formal.
Yeah.
Well,
So today we have Mario Ricciardi here. What do you do, Mario?
I like movies.
Yeah,
Hey,
that's perfect. That's like
That's why we're here.
oddly specific to this podcast.
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Glad
So, so you seen this movie? You seen this movie?
I have.
What do you think about it?
It just so happens to be on my list.
Really?
Oh, really?
No shit.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Where's
That's
it at
awesome.
on your list?
2.
Like number 2 in like the horror genre list?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love this movie.
That's really,
I
really
love
cool.
this movie.
Uh-huh.
It's a cool movie. There's so much about it that's especially with Ohio.
Yeah.
It's based
Oh yeah,
based out
in Akron.
OU. Athens.
Really?
Yeah. That's where the director.
Because I remember the part where they have the parade, and they're saying, "Here in Akron, Ohio."
The other side.
Yeah, I believe so.
It's supposed to be based off of OU's Halloween weekend.
I fucked her.
Shut
I
up.
fucked her 5 times.
Shut up.
What?
She's
Are
probably
you
like
allergic
16.
to the truth?
They hated him because he told the truth.
He was a rebel.
The thing is everything about this movie has some sort of Halloween theme to it. Like every detail, you know. And that's
The atmosphere is intoxicating.
it's not on my list, but I do love the hell out of this movie.
But it's playful about it too. I mean,
Yeah, it's a little spooky, a little funny, you know.
Yeah.
It's not. They're not trying to desaturate or mute out all the colors and make
Uh-huh.
it some.
Oh, it's a beautiful film. Yeah.
Conjuring's a great movie, but the whole thing about it is that it's supposed to feel, I guess, more real because they wanted to everything's desaturated.
Uh-huh.
But it's like fun, you know.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
still, there's gore and there's everything else that makes a horror movie good.
Uh-huh.
Creepy,
You
bit
need a
messed
little
up.
gore for sure.
This is definitely like a traditional like it's tradition for me for the past. I mean, ever since this movie came out, I watch it every Halloween.
Yeah.
It just I think more than any other movie like this and Halloween.
Mm.
John Carpenter gets me in the Halloween spirit, you know, and that's my favorite holiday. I love Halloween.
Me too, yeah.
Have you been to Spirit Halloween recently? This sounds like it's off topic, but
Last year,
that was the first year that I realized, based off of the merchandise they had for this movie available, I was like, I think Trick or Treat is finally like it transcended cult status and it's probably
yeah,
it's a little bit more mainstream now than
I feel like
15 years ago.
I feel like people that haven't seen the movie are buying merchandise just as decoration.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah.
There was always that rumor not rumor, but Trick or Treat 2 was always supposed to happen, you know, but it just never did yet.
Oh yeah,
There's even that like image that they showed, right?
Trick or Treat 2.
Trick or Treat
Yeah.
2.
No, I would. He still says that it's in the works
Yeah.
on Twitter.
Yeah. It's been in the
yeah.
progress for 10 years.
Yeah. But we got the next best thing is the best Christmas horror movie since Gremlins, Krampus.
Oh, of course, yeah. That's a fun movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love Krampus.
I
Love
like
Krampus.
movie like
Never
Christmas
seen it.
a Christmas
Have you
horror
never
movie.
seen it? Yeah, it's Michael Daughtry, and it's his Christmas horror movie,
Uh-huh.
Check that out.
and it's fantastic.
Yeah, it's really good.
I will have to check
Yeah,
Definitely
it's
watch
so
it.
good, so good.
Watch it around the holidays this year.
It's like a PG-13. It's like a kid's horror movie, like a Gremlins or what's another example?
Like Indiana Jones is PG, but
Indiana
I don't know, but
like back when they weren't afraid to make
well, never
like
ending
fucked up shit. For
Never Ending
kids.
Story, Dark Crystal, Labyrinth. Maybe,
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
But this is like the thing about Krampus is this is very Halloweeny, and Krampus is very Christmassy. You know, it's very Christmassy.
Yeah.
I'm so happy to hear that endorsement. I will definitely watch it now.
Yeah,
That's genuinely interesting.
yeah,
No, I mean the sound design in that movie is impeccable. Like
impeccable.
When a character leaves the house and goes into a snowstorm, you feel like you're in a snowstorm. It's amazing. It's like David Fincher level sound quality.
Uh huh.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a great movie.
Yeah.
Great movie.
We
I remember
allowed
we
to
saw it in
just
the
say his
theater.
name like that?
Yeah, we did. We saw it in the theater.
Say what, David Finch? The
Yeah.
Finch?
Are we allowed to? Yeah.
The Finch? Dude, I know him personally. The Finch?
I got him on my phone. We texted him. I'm like, hey, baby.
Man, don't take his name in vain.
No, I love David Fincher.
Ah, dude, I fucked his wife.
You fuck up my way.
Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong.
Prove me
You
wrong.
David Fincher is going to have to come on this podcast to prove me wrong. Come on this podcast, prove me wrong that I did not fuck his wife. I don't even know if he's married, but I did fuck his wife.
And he calls us the next day. You didn't fuck my wife.
It's like, I'm 15 minutes away from Struthers, you motherfucker.
Get ready to fucking throw down, dude.
I'm gonna be on that podcast. I'm proving you wrong.
I'm gonna
My wife is with me.
I'm gonna beat your ass with as much precision as my films. With as much precision as my films.
So great title card, great opening sequence. I wonder who animated this.
I did.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I did this.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. It's a good job.
It's a different art style than the comic book. The comic book that came out it's not a sequel. It's like the movie, right? It's
I never read the comic. There's a comic book.
Yeah, I think it was an adaptation. So this came out of an animated short. Featuring,
Really?
Yeah, with the little Sam guy.
Mhm.
He was. It
I
was
didn't
like
know
it was a very. It's like almost like a Disney style kind of demented.
Oh wow.
Animated short. It was really good, but then they somehow couldn't get this made. Maybe and they made a comic book, or they got it made and they made a comic book after it. But the art style is different than the comic book setting.
Huh.
I like this art style more.
Huh.
But
Make sure to help me with the eyes. Just the whole sequence when he's trying to kill the little kid, and his son's yelling for him out the window. You said we were gonna watch Charlie Brown Halloween.
Charlie Brown an asshole? Was that this movie?
What is that? What is that from? Charlie Brown's an asshole. I think that is this movie. Yeah. Charlie Brown is an asshole.
And then there's, if you obviously watch it, there's all these little foreshadowing moments that are really
Uh-huh.
I appreciate that interconnectedness.
Anna Paquin is a fucking dime piece in this movie. Dressed as Little Red Riding Hood. Oh, Maron. I just watch it for her sometimes.
You're in love with her.
So what we did for this episode is we came up with lists, top 5 horror movies that are specifically in the horror genre, and then 5 other movies that aren't specifically in the horror genre, but we personally find horrifying, right? And I hate to say this, where's my phone? Shit. Oh, okay. It's next to me. I hate to say this, but I woke up this morning, got myself a gun.
Mom said I was the chosen one.
Papa never told me right from wrong. But I started to make this list on Letterboxd. Shout out. And I couldn't do it. Couldn't do it.
Too many.
I have too many horror movies that I love so much, and for the life of me, I made the list. But it's not in any order, and it's not.
We shouldn't hold you to it.
It's too many. I have too many on there. But
just 5.
yeah, I got like 20. I couldn't narrow it down. I really couldn't. I thought of so many. I'm a huge horror fan.
What's your least favorite on that list?
My least favorite on my list that I made.
Yeah.
Let me
Out of
find it.
Out of all 30.
Yeah. Dude, where is it? Don't tell me you got to read it. Do not tell me you got. What?
What are you talking about?
No. I know. I hit save. Wait.
I'm also going to check the letterbox.
Wait. Yeah, check my letterbox to see if you can see it. What the fuck?
It's going great.
No,
just
this is the podcast.
no. You're always overachieving though. So no.
Well, you didn't make your list until
I know.
20 seconds ago.
I'm just being facetious.
I remember everything on it, so my mind is a steel trap.
Yeah.
So, I guess we'll just like go tit for tat. And name some off. So like,
yeah, doesn't exist.
Shit, man.
Unless you mean movies that made me cry because they're so scary.
No, those are just movies that make me cry, which is just a list of all the movies I've seen because I cry at every single movie.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that.
You remember that video? This guy made of his girlfriend, and it said, "My girlfriend literally cries at every movie," and like it shows that they just finished watching A New Hope.
Yeah,
and she's like, "The little robot got broken, and the big robot didn't help him," and she's just like sobbing over like R2D2 and C3PO.
That's funny as fuck.
That's me. It's literally me.
Literally you, yeah.
I cry at the drop of a hat when it comes to movies, but
our cinema.
But this is definitely on my top 5 Trick or Treat.
And
I remember I didn't put it in any order. Evil Dead 2. Another thing that's really hard about this is like any one of these movies I could spend a whole podcast talking about.
Yeah, sure.
Ooh.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. That's confining yourself to this.
We just got to bang it out real quick.
That's a challenge.
So, I'd say in my top 5, Evil Dead 2.
All right. Are we stopping with that and we're going? Everyone says something?
Yeah, you can go next.
Is this the bottom or this is random?
Random.
What about you? So are you in chronological order?
I put 5 that are like in the horror genre and 5 that scare me for other reasons.
Yeah.
Okay.
So should I just do the horror genre?
Horror genre first.
Well, one of my favorite horror movies is the original Halloween for sure.
That's on my list.
I picked Carnival of Souls.
Okay.
I was about to put that on my list actually.
Really,
that's a great
It
movie.
didn't make your top 20.
It didn't. I have a lot of horror movies that I love, and it didn't quite make the 20.
Why Evil Dead 2 and not the first one? Just because it's better?
Because it's Evil Dead 2. And it's. I mean, I love Evil Dead 1. I love Evil Dead 2013.
Yeah.
Evil Dead that came out this year it's okay. You know, it's not bad.
Yeah.
The best part I won't spend too much time on it. The best part is the sound design. I think in my letterbox review, I said that the sound design felt like it was giving me paper cuts in a good way.
Wow.
Like I felt like I was being like assaulted by the just the sound of the film.
Oh.
But no, I mean we've talked about it endlessly. How much we love Evil Dead 2013.
That's the one I actually put the 2013 remake, on mine over the second one.
And that's
And,
that's wild.
You disagree with that? The second one's you prefer the second one to the remake.
I do, yeah.
So why do you prefer the remake?
Because
The remake to me is
I want to hear Damian.
almost.
I want to hear Damian.
No, okay, all right, no.
I think it was so surprising and shocking, and like the violence, like in that one, is so gruesome. Is much more gruesome, but I also think that made it funnier. I think the fact that they went for a darker, grimmer tone and like had the violence be so horrifying made it like the funniest one to me, and like
Yeah.
that may be controversial because like I don't know, like it's whatever, like, but yeah, that's how I feel. Is like, of course, like I love the second one, and I even really love
course.
Army of Darkness. Like they're great films. But and I don't think I'd love the remake. Well, I don't know
I mean,
as much without the other ones. You know.
what I love so much about the remake is in like the behind the scenes of Evil Dead 2, they talk about how the um, special effects guys, the guys that did all the special effects, they would go to different towns and they would go see Evil Dead 2 just to watch people storm out of the theater in disgust, you know? And that's what the 2013 movie accomplished. Was I was working at the movie theater at the time in Boardman, and it was great. I would just watch multiple times a day people storming out of the theater in complete disgust, demanding a refund. That's the most disgusting movie I've ever seen in my life. Yeah.
Is it disgusting? I've never seen it.
Oh, you gotta see it.
I've never
And
seen
then
it.
here's another thing about the remake, and it's hard for me to put into words, but like every time I watch the remake, every single time, by the time it's over, I'm literally shaking.
What?
Like by the time it's over, every single time, and like it'll take you for a ride every single time.
Yeah.
And like and that's how I would describe it. It's hard to be specific, but every time I'm done watching it, like I'm just like grabbing my chair and like breathless, and my heart's racing. You know.
Sounds like quite a time.
Yeah, and if I would highly recommend it. We're coming up on, it's a Halloween episode, definitely.
Just got it added to my TV collection.
Absolutely.
Things I have to watch.
No,
Watch
it's
it this
fantastic.
October. It's like an hour and a half. It's really short and it's really sweet. You know.
Yeah. It's some good
Here,
stuff.
and in my opinion, it doesn't get much better than that in a lot of ways. You know.
And a
I
lot
see
of people
turkey
hated it.
carver on the back here.
Who's what?
There's like a turkey carver.
Yes, yeah. There's a great scene with a turkey
The
carver.
gore is all.
Don't cut it.
I don't want to
you
say
bitch.
it's all practical. I guess there's no CGI really. You know.
I'm sure there's a little bit,
maybe
but it's
maybe
mostly
touches,
practical, yeah.
touches, but it feels so real.
They made a good faith effort to
Yeah.
keep it grounded.
Compared to
That's what I'm
movies
saying.
like with too much, and there was a period of time where horror movies had too much CGI violence, and it just took a lot of the fun out of it. You know,
Right.
there's movies like we watched Terrifier 2 had a lot of practical gore, and that's like fun. That's so much fun. You know,
Terrifier 2.
I'm not saying
I
it's great.
actually finished that movie.
Sure, I didn't finish it, but
It's better than the first one, and it has one of the goriest scenes I've ever seen in my life.
Uh-huh.
There's one kill where like Art the clown comes in and he like breaks the woman's arm off and like tears half of her face off.
uh-huh.
And, like pours salt on her face and like chops one of her legs off and then like puts her like it was just insane. But the movie's like fucking 3 hours long.
Sure.
It's not.
The thing is,
Not
like,
worth
I'm not even
watching.
saying it's great, but I'm just glad that there's such a market for for those really gruesome practical gore.
I agree.
It's really gruesome. You
Yeah.
know? That's really what the movie is here's a gore, here's a gore, here's a gore. You know, like, and that's okay. But
I'm not a big,
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of gore, so that'll get interesting.
Get the fuck
Change of
out.
pace.
Get the fuck out of my house.
No.
But
Cool.
I think that's
It doesn't
interesting.
have any gore.
Because, like, to me,
I was gonna say, what doesn't have any gore? Carnival of Souls.
sure.
Blair Witch Project.
Or which
That's-
project?
yeah, I
No
guess it
gore.
doesn't.
I think that's. I'm gonna say something really controversial right now.
All right.
I don't like black
Oh my god.
No,
Actually, I have to
Great.
look.
It's a
Great.
line. It's a line from That's So Raven.
It is a line for that too.
You remember that?
It is.
No, I won't say
It's
it.
the racism episode.
It's the racism episode of That's So Raven. No, Damian knows. And I apologize.
Grew up without cable.
Okay.
All right.
But I'm so excited. I'm so scared.
And that's from Saved by the Bell.
Yeah. Okay. So now the episode is lines from old sitcoms that were trying to teach you a lesson.
You want to talk about the
Racism episodes and drug episodes. That'll be the next podcast.
I never had to watch those.
The Looney
You're
Tunes,
lucky.
the Looney Tunes All Stars drug thing. Do you know what I'm talking
Yes. Yeah.
about? That one is like, if you do drugs, then the Looney Tunes will talk to you. Basically, that's
You
what I
do?
got from it.
Yeah.
It's supposed
which
to be-
makes it like seem really appealing.
Yeah, it really makes drugs seem great.
I want to meet Porky Pig.
You get to meet Bugs Bunny. You get to
Yeah.
meet the turtles. You get to meet Porky Pig.
Yeah.
It's so exciting.
What's the story? Is that Chris Yambar who signed that?
Christian Barr,
Yeah,
he drew
yeah.
it. He drew it too, right?
What's it, Silencia? Because that's the club in Mulholland Drive, right?
Yeah.
Where was that at? Like
Where
Youngstown?
does it say Silesia?
Silencia Art Show.
Silesia Art. Yeah. Right. It's actually a show that my second uncle, Jeff Beatty. What's Jeff Beatty to me?
He's related by marriage
Related by marriage.
to,
Okay.
to Grandpa Shannon's niece.
Okay.
And he put on an art show.
He put on a David Lynch art show with Chris Yambar
Wow.
and different Youngstown artists, including myself.
Yeah, you had one up.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
I did a
The David Lynch one.
I
Why is Chris on the wall, not yours?
well because I traded Chris that for my painting, and
Which was
he-
a great painting.
Yeah, thank you.
Both of them are, you know. So
Thank you. He was a great man. Good.
is he dead?
He was a good man. He was a great friend. Yeah, he died.
Yeah.
Last year, two
Oh, that's so
years
sad.
ago.
That's
Yeah,
so
he was
sad.
young. He
Yeah.
was too young.
He was so
He was,
driven.
yeah.
You know.
I remember.
I mean-
Back in the day, I looked up to him. You know, he was an amazing fella, great artist, fun loving guy. He used to write and draw for Simpsons comics, and he has a bunch of his own originals like not Mucha Lucha,
El Mucho Grande.
Mucha Grande, and
Was Mr. Beat
Mr.
his-
Beat,
Yeah.
Mr. Beat, and I made him a painting of all of his characters,
Uh-huh.
and I gave it to him probably like a year before he died, and he was a great guy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Shoot.
Every time I
wonderful,
met him,
wonderful artist.
Every time I met him, he was super kind to me. You know?
Yeah, really nice, really.
Oh my
He-
God,
he understood- That's
I know
Norm,
not Junior, but
that's Norm Macdonald.
gotcha. Norm
That-
McDonald is
Yeah,
Norm's a bastard.
Uncle Junior still he ran away,
he's lost.
but
What's your next movie? All right, give me another one. Just because I know it's not in order, so it's not really your next.
real quick, I just want to say about Chris Yambar that he understood as an artist, the worst thing you could do is discourage another artist.
Yeah.
You know,
Uh-huh.
he was all about supporting
That's true.
other artists, and that's the best thing you could do as an artist is not put other artists down
Yeah.
and encourage them to make better stuff, and you know, like and Rest in peace,
They
Christina
don't, they
Barr.
don't. He didn't come up to you. You're never gonna make it, kid.
Exactly. No, he would never
It's
say
like
something
it's
like
like
that.
look at my painting I put my heart into.
Yeah,
He
he
always,
loved it. Yeah.
he always opened his heart to it. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, what I was gonna actually say that's super controversial is I think that
So we're taking another step.
I think that honestly, it is in the horror genre, but it's also a movie I find profoundly terrifying, and it might be. It's definitely in my top 3. It might be my favorite horror movie is The Blair Witch Project.
Okay, so
Okay.
yeah, it's pretty amazing. The story behind it's pretty. I mean, they thought those guys, their relatives thought those guys were dead.
Yeah,
That's
I
crazy.
thought they were. I watched it when I was like 13, and I thought it was real.
Was that talking with you when you were the one who told me that they used to just pass like a blank DVD around to people and they'd watch it and they'd be like,
Is that how it went?
I heard that might have been part of the marketing campaign for it.
Oh.
They would I thought you told me that. Maybe not then. I also used to have a book, like the making of Blair Witch Project.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It was,
That sounds
I'd like
awesome.
to see that.
That
I don't
sounds
have
like
it anymore.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, it's interesting. It was. Yeah, I think that's. Is it like? I think that the worst part about that movie was I heard that the actors they had to fight for a fair take of the residuals.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, you hate seeing stuff like that happen.
Yeah.
Right,
But,
yeah.
I mean, that's just as discouraging as anything you say to an artist is, well,
Sure.
we're going to make hundreds of millions of dollars on this, and you're going to be left with your original. I don't know, but you sign contracts. I'm
Yeah,
not
like
an
all
attorney.
the work you put into it, and you get
Yeah.
you get a hamburger. You know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you get nothing. Yeah.
IMDb credit.
Sure.
But-
use this as a credit for your future.
Yeah. You're getting paid in exposure.
An experience exposure. Sure.
Yeah, but anyway, yeah. Blair Witch.
Yeah,
That's a
no,
big one.
so fuck them actors. I don't give a shit what they got paid. But that's not my problem. I got problems of my own.
That's the real horror movie, folks.
Yeah. Life.
Yeah.
That's the real-
the movie industry,
the
fucking
wealth-
Hollywood.
That's the real
quality.
Yeah,
Thank you.
That's
fucking trickle down economics.
You struggled.
fucking Reagan.
The war against drugs.
I
You
wish.
want to talk about politics?
Yeah, let's talk about
All right.
politics. I'll just say it. Like I wish John Hinckley was a better shot. You know.
Pretty big butterfly effect. Okay.
Yeah,
I don't know. Should have messed with.
but
time.
at least he would have been dead sooner.
Haven't movies taught you, Kevin?
Yeah,
Mess with
I
time?
shouldn't talk about politics.
Or
Fuck
that.
Ronald Reagan.
Anyway, Blair Witch. All right, Damian.
Blair
Give
Witch.
me another one. All right.
Okay,
You got two.
this is real. This is real. I love the Bela Lugosi Dracula. It's spooky.
Hell yeah.
It's spooky. It's atmospheric, and I just love stories about vampires.
How do you feel about that compared to Nosferatu?
I love Nosferatu. I seriously, I actually own Nosferatu. Are you talking about the new one or the old one?
The
old one?
Yeah.
Well, okay.
Because Bela Lugosi Dracula's like 50s, right?
Yeah, it's like I think right on the cusp.
Okay,
It might literally be right on the
Could
cusp.
be, I believe that. Okay, so
But
why does Bela Lugosi's Dracula outshine Nosferatu?
well, for me, Bela Lugosi is such an iconic. Like he
Bela.
plays a character that could be like an old man that's kind of like out of his head a little bit, but like a gentle, normal old man that you trust, or this immortal monster who's luring you to feed on your blood like a spider would lure in someone.
Yeah.
And he plays those two parts so perfectly.
Yeah.
And what I will say about the film is that scene in the castle in the beginning is like it's the best scene in the movie, and it's hard to top that for any movie, like how good that is. But I will say the whole movie, even though it's very old, is one that I love dearly. You know.
Nice. Okay. Is this the part where they play that cover of "Sweet Dreams Are Made of"?
Yes. Yeah.
No, it's not yet.
Sweet
Not yet.
dreams are made
Made
of
of
this.
Black
Sweet
Christmas.
dreams are made of
Just
peanuts.
because we were talking about that. We were talking about the other day. Black Christmas. That's another one on my list.
Black Christmas, holy shit.
I love that movie.
Yeah.
I think it's
Yeah.
really interesting. I like.
I've actually never seen it.
It is, well, it's so, as I understand it, again, this is everything I ever talk about is regurgitated from online, not from actual first-hand sources, but they made Black Christmas, and they wanted to make one about Halloween, but John Carpenter was so inspired by Black Christmas, the idea of a serial killer, that he went ahead and he made his own holiday-themed horror film called Halloween.
Wow.
I guess we're better off.
Probably on all of our lists.
Yeah,
Halloween.
Yeah, it's somewhere on it, right? And
Yeah.
so that's but the use of the first person point of view of the killer. That's interesting.
Yeah.
And that's obviously John Carpenter took that for the opening scene of Halloween.
Yeah.
But I like the 70s. I like the feeling, the look. I like everything that was going on in film then, and I think that movie is a nice, fun, like horror movie with a holiday spin to it that sits right in the catalog of 70s film.
One thing
That sounds awesome.
One thing I love, one little tidbit that I love about the making of Halloween is how they did not shoot it during the fall.
When did they shoot it?
I think it was during the summer, and so to recreate. And it's crazy to think because it gives off such a fall Halloween feel. But they literally just had trash bags full of dead leaves that whenever they shot, they would just dump them everywhere.
Yeah.
And then when they were done with the shot, rake them up, put them back in the trash bags, and go to the next place.
Yeah.
There's something about the pumpkin in the beginning, too. It's not a pumpkin. It's like a squash that they had to get from like three hours away from where they were shooting it.
Huh.
Yeah, because they couldn't find something like that, or the pumpkin's in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I won't get into this heavily, but the newest Halloween movie, Halloween Ends, is the best Halloween movie since the original. No one can tell me otherwise. I know everyone hates it, and they're wrong. They're wrong. It's an amazing movie. Everyone's like, "Oh, Michael Myers is barely in it." It's like, yeah, okay, who cares? It's a good movie.
I'm glad you like it
I love Halloween Ends
because it's so weird. Yeah. Good.
No, I was just saying, give us a three bullet point defense, like this, and this. I'd be
okay.
I want you to elaborate on it.
Okay, have you seen it?
No.
Okay, so what I'll say about it is, it's at this point, I'm done with seeing a movie where Michael Myers just goes around and stabs people. That's fine. It's fine. But this movie was about a lot more than that. It was about the nature of evil and how society can turn an innocent person into a monster, and it was about the passing of the torch from Michael Myers to this younger guy, and
just real quick, they like how Michael Myers was more of an idea in that film than an actual killer.
Yes, and the only thing
it was like Michael Myers is an idea. Yeah.
The only thing I would change is obviously I hate the ending.
They throw him in the wood chipper.
Like Fargo him.
Yeah, seriously.
What would have been so much better is there's a scene where the new Michael Myers is wrestling in the sewer with the old Michael Myers, and he's weak. He's an old man, and I think it would be just absolutely perfect if during that wrestling match he just kind of like falls over and dies of old age.
Oh, man.
That's a really cool idea.
I feel like that would be a great unceremonious. I know they would be angry, but I would be delighted.
Yeah.
The thing is,
just so unceremonious. He just falls over and dies.
I think what you're saying is right, that the movie was so out there and weird and creative, but the ending was so safe. Yes. They had to give you that safe ending.
Yeah.
And you're like, why don't they make the ending weird too? And I agree,
Yeah. The ending to me sounds, it just screams studio notes.
Oh, of course, yeah.
That they're like, oh, you can't do this.
Well, you have to have something very traditional Halloween.
Yeah.
You have to have something traditional Halloween in there. Yeah.
Do you know Christopher Nolan had to defend the car chase scene with the Batmobile in Batman Begins to the studio executives?
Really?
They gave a note. They said you can't have a car chase in the middle of a movie. Mm-hmm. And And Chris Nolan was like, well, here's like French Dispatch.
Yeah.
Here's like whatever. And
French Connection.
French Connection. Thank
Yeah.
you. And he had to like give a list of movies that were like, no, this
Yeah.
people have done this in movies, and it's
Yeah.
like this, it's absurd. Anyways,
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
I didn't know that. Yeah.
So that's 2. Damien, third.
Here, let's
horror.
look for a good one.
Third horror. Yeah.
Here's one. This is one that's also controversial, but Kevin happens to agree with me. Of all the David Lynch movies, I would say the one that I consider the scariest is Fire Walk with Me.
Fire Walk with Me.
Twin
Yeah.
Peaks Fire Walk with Me.
Wow.
And the thing
I
is, it's
agree.
because Laura Palmer is a character that I so strongly relate to.
Yeah.
Like, her performance and her story is like, every time I watch it, I'm with her the whole way. You
One
know?
of the best
And
performances.
it's
of all
partially
time.
her performance.
Tell me
Yeah.
more about that. What do you see in the performance of the character?
It's like,
Is it her struggles? And how
I
she
think
copes?
I think it's because
It's her scream. It pierces
No,
your soul.
no, I don't think. I think her acting is beautiful, but like everybody knows her and everybody loves her, but I guess underneath it all, she's really like she's deeply fucked in a lot of ways. I guess I don't know, and I don't know. It's not that simple, but like I think it's about dealing with trauma. That's like Laura Palmer's story is dealing with trauma.
Yeah.
That's a better way of putting it.
Yeah.
It doesn't directly show you what happened, but it shows her dealing with it. You know.
Incredible film. One of the scariest movies I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
I agree.
I mean,
I didn't
yeah.
even consider it. It's terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Inland Empire, Mulholland Drive.
There's a
some of the
lot of
scariest
great
movies I've ever
great
seen.
options in David Lynch's library, but I chose Fire Walk with Me.
Eraserhead.
Uh-huh.
Great pick.
Yeah.
Shirley Lee should have been the.
She should have won an Oscar.
On top of the world. She
Yeah.
should have been. She should have been Meryl Streep.
Yeah.
Meryl Streep. She's fine. But
She's
come on.
fine. She's
Come
okay.
on.
She's
Fine.
okay.
But
I don't
but
know.
Shirley, come on. She
Yeah.
should have won multiple Oscars, more Oscars than I guess. Well, how would she? She was in very few films, but incredible performance.
That is one of the biggest. That is actually a very sad thing to think about. How the film was, because it was so controversial when it came out, she got no recognition.
Well, like
That's
people
terrible.
hated it because they wanted to see what was going to happen next in the story. Like,
I just want to make sure that your voice gets picked up.
yeah.
I'm like,
Sorry.
okay, yeah.
But that's fine. Yeah. But like in season 2 of Twin Peaks, it was canceled on a cliffhanger, and people wanted to conclude that story. But Fire Walk with Me comes out, and it's a prequel. It doesn't really answer a lot of the questions of the story,
Right.
and people are not happy with it. But I think watch it on its own terms, and you will be really impressed with it. You know.
Yeah. Okay,
Totally agree.
so Fire Walk with Me. What's a 3?
Okay. I'm gonna throw in Tobe Hooper's best movie, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Okay.
Some people say that's one of the greatest horror, like the greatest horror movie.
I totally agree.
I
totally
absolutely agree.
Fantastic film. The advertising for the movie. I think it was 1973 that it came out. I could be wrong, but the advertising for it was so real. I'm butchering it, but so real that you feel like you're there. And it's true. It's true. It feels like a home movie. But in this home movie...
in this movie, things are a little different.
Things are a little different.
That end shot when she's in the truck is like burned into my brain.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The shot where he gets bludgeoned to death with the hammer, and then Leatherface shuts the door and it comes out of nowhere. And something that I love about the movie is you ask people that have seen it about the scene where Leatherface picks up the girl and hangs her up on the meat hook, right? In the movie, it doesn't show the meat hook going into her back, but you ask people that have seen it, and they swear that you could see the meat hook going into her back
Well,
because
they
the
think
power,
it's so much more graphic than it is.
right? The power of off-screen violence just overpowers anything, and that's what I love about that Texas Chainsaw Massacre. That's what I love about funny games. That's what I love about that, and that's what I love most about. And one thing I want to say about before we move on about Blair Witch Project is it's the greatest H.P. Lovecraft movie ever made.
I don't know why. Why is that? What is that?
Because H.P. Lovecraft was all about unseen horror.
He was an author.
How
right?
Yeah,
I got that much. I'm curious as the crossover to Blair Witch.
H.P. Lovecraft would always explain these giant monsters and how, like, if you even
they're beyond comprehension.
They're beyond comprehension. If you gazed upon them, your brain would explode.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel about Blair Witch Project. Is you see nothing.
Yeah.
In the movie.
Yeah.
Literally nothing. You don't see the witch. You don't see shit. You don't see anything.
Yeah. You.
It's all left up to your imagination. That's why I love it so goddamn much.
It's literally incomprehensible horror.
Yeah.
That's what the movie's about. You know?
Like the scene towards the end where they're looking for Josh, right? Yeah, Josh.
Josh!
Tell us where you are, Josh.
Josh!
And you just hear Josh screaming in the distance. And in your mind, you're
like, what's happening?
What's happening to Josh? And the last time I watched it, oh my God, I was just imagining this cosmic horror where he's just being tormented in the levels you would see in hell.
Sure,
you know,
Dante's Inferno or whatever.
Yes, yeah, and that's what I wanted to say about that movie. Mario, what do you have?
Midsommar.
Midsommar.
That's on mine too.
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Because you did not like it the first time you watched it.
Yeah, the first time I watched
which
it.
Which is interesting.
Yeah, I didn't like it. And the reason I didn't like it is because it is an exercise in misery, kind of, you know?
Yeah.
And I've learned more and more. I think at first I was really put off by that, but the more I've given it more and more chances, I watched it several more times, and I've learned to really appreciate it for that, how devastating it is.
Yeah.
Like, that's something I like about it, you know? Because, like, it is justifying and empowering to have a character go through that.
It's a feminist film.
It is. It really is.
It is, yeah. But, sorry to cut you off.
No.
I want to hear what you have to say about Midsommar.
No, visually, it's one of the first times in a long time that I felt that I was watching something that was just, familiar yet so unseen.
Mm-hmm.
The control over the detail and how everything is wide. It's almost like you're looking at kind of like those little I Spy books or Where's Waldo. All the little details.
There's tons of stuff like that. Yeah.
And it's not necessarily meant to it's to make you neurotic about keeping up with everything going on. It's like these fun details and whatever that enrich kind of the experience in the world that you're in. It's like J.R.R. Tolkien of horror. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's so much little
It's very rich visually.
And I know
it's messed up.
Yeah,
The whole thing's messed up.
Yeah, and I know you've never done psychedelics, but I think I speak for all of us. I mean, my dad hasn't seen Midsommar, but there are parts of that movie you feel like you're on mushrooms.
I feel like that movie, and there's even parts of the movies where they're taking mushrooms and stuff. Like, it's definitely meant to be psychedelic and acid.
Yeah,
it's meant to be like an acid trip, definitely.
Parts where you just see a tree and
it'll just morph.
It just morph slightly, and it's like, fuck, when did I drop?
Yeah, and it's like when you're taking mushrooms, you want to be at peace, and this character is not at peace, dude. She's dealing with the death of her parents and her sister and her boyfriend. It's not going good, and then she takes the psychedelic drug and just the horror unleashes.
Let me ask you this, because I know the film is divisive in terms of some people will give, obviously there's people who are for Florence Pugh's character and the outcome that she faces, and then there are others who defend what's his name, Christian.
Sure.
And
I can't remember.
it's device, and people I think are both valid.
I love that both sides love that story.
Okay.
I definitely love the female character.
Have you ever seen Ari Aster's short film that he made before Hereditary?
I've seen all of his short films.
Yeah?
Yeah,
What is it? Something Wrong with the Johnsons or
Yeah.
something like that?
that's one of them.
Yeah, okay. So, if you don't mind, I'm going to explain the the plot. There's something wrong with the Johnsons.
Explain it, Kevin.
And I kind of wish that my dad wasn't here right now.
He's gonna
Because
flick
it's going to be really, really awkward. So,
It's like,
something wrong with...
Kevin's charging an attack. Oh my god.
Yeah, the short film by at this point legendary
Ari Aster.
horror director Ari Aster. There's something wrong with the Johnsons about a young boy who is sexually attracted to his father and starts serial raping his father for years and years. It's fucking weird, man. For years and years and years, and then at the end, his dad he gets hit by a car. That's it.
Well, the best
But it's fucked up, man.
It's
It's fucked
kinda
up.
fucked up.
It's kind of fucked up.
Kind of fucked up.
The best part about that short film is the beginning which I imagine is probably some file or something that the AFI gives out to all their students, where it puts the AFI, American Film Institute, like proudly presents.
Yeah.
But it's over a black screen, and it says that. I'm sure every short film that gets put out of the AFI has that in front of it.
Yeah.
But the sound design is the kid like fapping. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
You know what it
AFI
is.
presents.
And you can just like you can feel
It's just the director going like this.
like you can
AFI?
Macaroni in a pot.
Right, yeah. And you just know
That's
there's
funny
at
as
least one professor who's like, this is a disgrace to the institute.
It's like,
Right,
how
right.
could they do this?
I was there when Citizen Kane premiered at the Chinese theater.
Right. So okay,
It's just- yeah.
And I'd like to
Two.
make a briefly mention of Hereditary
Sorry.
also being really scary.
Short
Like,
Hereditary,
both
great.
Midsommar and Hereditary are both really scary.
I just watched that with Deeker
Yeah,
last week when he was here.
yeah,
He loved it.
yeah.
Yeah.
And we don't have to spend too much time on it because we talked about Ari Aster and stuff. But
no.
yeah. Anyway, so go ahead, Kevin.
Yeah, two.
I think-
4.
Is it my turn? Or is it your turn?
I said Midsommar.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so let me try to think.
Let me say this.
Because my
my
yeah, go
number
ahead.
4 is Trick or Treat, and we're watching it. And
Uh-huh.
we already talked about Trick or Treat, so
Uh-huh.
I just want to get that out of the way.
What's
Okay.
going on in Trick or Treat right
4,
now?
4 is actually my 2.
The
Because the audience-
It's the school bus.
Our giant audience is
Corey.
watching this movie
Yeah, they're
along
active.
with us.
That is
Yeah.
such an Ohio thing. A quarry.
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 Let's
Oh,
go
yeah.
down to the quarry.
Man-made quarries. We're all
Yeah, seriously, it's
Oh,
like
man,
fucking from
me and
Stephen
my-
King.
Midwest. Tons of them.
Me and my friends, when we were in high school, we would go to the quarry. Not Nelson's Ledges, but the one where you're not supposed to go because you could like very easily die.
Yeah.
And we would just hike up the mountain with a 30 case, the Natty Light,
Very drunk.
Sounds
and just get shit faced, jump off the fucking quarry and just shoot guns off.
fun. Just sounds dangerous.
Yeah, it was bad.
It was
We were
actually really
fucking
scary.
idiots.
So that was my 4 or 2. But Kevin, your 4 or 2.
Okay. Okay. I know what. Oh man, there's. Ooh, I have so many.
Damian,
But-
he's out of time.
No.
Beep, beep.
The McLaughlin Group.
You fool.
30 seconds, Damian. What do you think about the war in Iraq?
Yeah.
Actually, as much.
Opening
As
scene
much.
of Watchmen, right? Or there's like.
I just remember it from The Simpsons because I'm not old enough to actually remember the McLaughlin Group. But okay, so what I want to add is the scariest movie I saw as a child. My shit's about to die. Wait a second.
My shit's about to
Oh.
What's the matter, Kevin?
We have like.
There we go.
Oh, you have to
Alright.
fiddle with
Perfect. Okay, cool. A movie that I was not allowed to watch. I was 10 years old. I was not allowed to watch it. This was back when Netflix still sent out DVDs in the mail.
Rubber.
You getting close
We're getting
to
close, yeah.
Okay, all right.
It's all right.
It's all right. You could when you gotta go. You gotta go. Me and Damian will just continue. It was when Netflix was still sending out DVDs in the mail, and I ordered it in secret because I wasn't allowed to watch it, and I waited by the mailbox every day to make sure that my parents didn't find it. And that movie was The Sixth Sense.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
You're not allowed to watch The Sixth Sense.
Well, ask him.
It's a pretty incredible movie.
More so my mom. My mom was very strict. If it didn't have the lingering scent of divinity,
Oh,
John, that's
I
how you do it.
wasn't allowed to watch it.
Of the afterlife and all those things. You know,
Yeah,
it was hopeful.
it had to have Jesus in it. But
Gotcha.
no, so I got it and I watched it in my room on a TV like the size of a bread box.
Is it bigger than a bread box?
Is it a black man's cock?
Yes.
and I was like under the covers and I was fucking terrified. You know what I was terrified of the most was Donnie Wahlberg.
At the beginning.
Donnie Wahlberg scared the shit out of me.
That's fair.
When Bruce Willis and his wife walk in, they see the glass on the floor and they realize what's going on. Somebody broke in. And then it pans over to inside of the bathroom and Donnie Wahlberg, which I didn't even know it was Donnie Wahlberg until like last year. And he's standing there in his whitey tighties and he's just like, "You failed me.
You failed me.
You failed me." And man, I couldn't go into my parents' bathroom for years after that.
I love
Donnie
how that-
Wahlberg is in there.
You're primed.
Donnie Wahlberg's gonna be in my parents' bathroom.
What's cool is you're primed to think that there's a ghost or something supernatural, and very quickly you learn that's a person and stuff. But I like that about it. One of my favorite scenes in American Horror Story. One of my favorite scenes is in American Horror Story, which yeah, right, that's fair. But for what it's worth, a lot of that TV show is a lot of really good ideas drawn into something that's maybe more like self-indulgent from a writing perspective. Whatever.
Yeah.
But the beginning is like you're primed very much to see this haunted house story and whatever. The wife, she comes home early. She's got like her grocery bags and stuff. There's creepy noise happening upstairs. So naturally she goes to check it out against all, rational common sense. And when she goes upstairs to the dark hallway and she opens the door where the noise is, it's her husband cheating on her. And you're like, oh, that's a great idea. You know what I mean? To make that as part of your opening choice. And it's
Yeah.
good catch. It's good
Yeah.
hook. But that's what I like about The Sixth Sense is
Yeah.
that moment there is like you're really primed to see something. You're expecting something ghostly, but it's human. It's fear that's in the real world.
Yeah.
It's a real thing.
Yeah, that's really great way of putting it.
And every shot of that movie is like you could tell M. Night is like he's fighting for his life to make something good. Like every single shot is incredible.
Oh yeah.
How does
And his
everything
team, I should say.
how does everything feel so like what's the word I'm trying like I was gonna say precise, but like
Homoerotic.
no. No, I'm just saying Sean.
I know what you're thinking about.
I don't know. I don't want to get into like
I
Sean.
love Donnie Wahlberg.
I don't want to get into like whatever.
I'm sorry. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
No,
Go ahead. Go
no,
ahead.
Johnny, no, apparently what you're saying is so important.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. No, it's not. It doesn't even matter. Like,
What's your number 2 or 4?
Here, let's take a look.
Yeah. Let's.
Okay.
Damien pick.
One I put on was Enter the Void. Gaspar, have you ever heard of Gaspar Noé?
I've heard. Never seen that one though.
That was on. That's also on my list.
I don't know if that technically is a horror movie, but for many years I had a phobia. Like I had a fear of death. You know, and this was like when I was a long time ago. But like, this was part of me helping me come to terms with like coming to peace with that in a weird way. Even though like it's like
Continue.
What's the premise of the movie then? Why does it?
well, like it's about a kid who dies. He gets that shows it from his perspective, and then like he ends up getting killed, and then like the spirit leaves his body, and then it shows what happens to like people in his life dealing with his death.
Wow.
And it's very I don't know. Kevin could kind of maybe help me, but like
It has a way. It's a very nihilistic film in which
It presents like a nightmare scenario almost.
yeah, where his spirit is wandering around the universe with nowhere to go, and at the end it goes nowhere
Yeah, it goes
because
to the
there is
void.
no God.
The void, yeah.
Ghost Story is
Yeah.
more optimistic, right?
Have you seen Ghost Story?
Half of it, yeah. I saw
Ghost
the high-
Story is great.
But End of the Void has like I would say it's kind of show offy choreography and show offy like cinematography, you know.
Okay.
And I think that like
Still beautiful.
it's like I'm not even trying to be mean, but like it really is like something it says on the box is it's the work.
This is the scene with the Marilyn Man. I'm sorry. This is the scene with the Marilyn Manson cover.
Okay.
For those
It says it's the work of an artist trying to show us something we've never seen before, and I think that's very true. You know, I think it's very very aspirational, and it's really trying to. I don't know.
Well, it's a haunting film, and
Kevin knows like that was such a fear of mine for such a long time with death.
Yeah.
And like this movie plunges you into it. It's like throwing you in the deep end. And then like after it, I think I felt stronger and like not even afraid. I'm not even the thing is I'm very much at peace with death now. I'm not afraid. And it's not like I want to die, I don't. It's just like it's something that I'm very much at peace with now. And this movie, by throwing me in the deep end and making me face the darkest sides of it, the darkest sides of like death, I feel like that actually did make me a better person and actually helped me in the end, you know. But I would highly, highly recommend watch a trailer for it. But I would highly recommend watching it.
Cool.
I would highly recommend.
This is your number one.
Anna Paquin.
Gotcha.
So I eat her butthole after she pooped.
Well, see, I gotta go again.
So do you have a number? What do you have?
I do not endorse it.
I gotta go again.
It follows.
It
Okay.
follows. Great choice. Great choice.
It's incredible. It's
so good.
It's a great depiction of the Rust Belt. It's a modern horror. It homages so much of classic horror. Like there's just so much about it. It's truly a takes the idea of a horror film and brings it into something that's art, but that you clearly see them struggle to make that happen with such a tight budget. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A lot of these new horror movies that come out, remake or not, I mean, they're not. It's not necessarily. There's less blood, sweat, and tears. Maybe you know what I mean.
Sure.
Yeah, I appreciate that for that. I appreciate it follows for that aspect of it, but it's yeah.
Yeah, the last time I rewatched It Follows wasn't that long ago, and I just like the mark of a great film. I didn't want it to end. You know, I was just enjoying myself so much watching that movie, and just I mean it feels so familiar, like we've seen this. It's almost like we feel like we've seen this done a million times, but It Follows really just like shakes it up, and while still being so familiar, I absolutely love the movie.
I'll just briefly say I've
you've-
never seen it.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I saw the trailer, and I love hearing you talk about it. And Kevin has talked about it a little bit too. The trailer looks so bad, you know.
Really?
But I feel like
what sold me to go see it.
maybe like I've heard like it was misleading too, you know.
I can't remember the trailer, but the film is fantastic.
Yeah. I don't know.
Where is that on your list?
That was my number one.
That's your number one.
Yeah, it's a
Wow.
soft ranking. It's not definitive.
Well, it's a great movie.
and
It's
also
a great movie.
I know it's supposed to be good off,
here,
actually.
it might change.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah,
Well,
No,
I think
you got a one. I want to
Number one?
or like
I think my number one is Blair Witch Project. But if I was gonna talk about another one real quick before you leave,
yeah.
I think. Do I talk about The Thing? Do I talk about Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead, Return of the Living Dead. All amazing movies.
Talk about because the Pittsburgh connection.
Yeah. Okay, I'll talk about that. I was thinking about Candyman, but I'll get to that
Come to
later.
Candyman.
How do you
Man.
feel about the Zack Snyder remake of it?
I think that's his only good movie.
Okay. Yeah.
Honestly, I think that's the only good movie Zack Snyder's ever made.
So why do you like the old one so much?
It is wildly inventive. I mean, it technically it didn't start the invent the zombie, but it popularized the zombie, and what we see as a zombie today as the dead rising,
Man through the grave.
yeah, and we're coming to get you, Barbara.
And it is funny, like when I was a kid, when I would draw, it's just something I would draw when I was really young, was like the hand coming out of the grave. It's
Yeah.
just such a cliched thing that's in our head, but like it did come from
Which-
that movie, you know?
No.
No?
There's no hands coming out of graves in those movies. I think maybe Return of the Living Dead.
Yeah.
But when I think of hands coming out of graves, I think a big one is like the cover of the Evil Dead poster,
Yeah.
and then Carrie
Yeah.
at the end. Carrie, yeah. I don't think I could be wrong. Is there in the beginning of Night of the Living Dead? Is there hands coming out of graves?
I don't think so.
I don't know.
I don't think so.
I need to watch that again. I need to watch all three of those again.
You know, you can get access to. It's in the archives, like the special archives at University of Pittsburgh University. I don't know. Whatever has the Tower of Learning or Cathedral of Learning, you get access to his scripts. But you can't check them out. You have to sit there and read George Romero's all of his works. They're collected there. In the
So like
archives.
you could read it. You could read his scripts.
Yeah,
That's
stuff that he's
really
written,
awesome.
Worked on.
Yeah.
And George Romero is like my hero.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
The independent nature.
yes, yeah. He hated Hollywood. He never wanted to go to Hollywood. He stayed in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
About an hour away from where we are right now, and he was like, I'm just gonna make my movies in Pittsburgh. I'm gonna stay here, and he fucking did it. It was like the coolest thing ever.
Yeah.
I love George A. Romero.
Yeah. I think it was a hero.
Yeah, and George A. Romero. I'll leave Mario off with this one little thing. What is it called? What's it called?
While he's looking it up, Damian, give us one more.
I'll just read you the last three I have. I put.
You gotta pick one. You gotta pick it's five.
Okay, fine, just one.
Pick one.
Okay.
We could talk about the other ones after Mario.
Yeah.
leaves.
How about Sweeney Todd? The Twin Burton.
Okay.
I love that movie because the way I would describe that movie is like the songs are like a caged bird singing. You know, the songs. There's some songs about revenge, but there's a lot of really beautiful romantic songs too. But the thing I would describe it is it's about losing everything through revenge. You know, Sweeney Todd loses what he wanted to revenge in the first place. Like he loses his family by it just is like a cautionary tale about revenge. But sometimes you just feel like you want to take that ride, you know, and Sweeney Todd will let you take that ride,
So,
you know.
do you want to see people taking revenge suffer or succeed?
I think revenge in its very nature is a double-edged sword. You
Gotcha.
know, I think you have to forgive. I like that, and that's being real. It's a movie, but like in real life, I think forgiveness is super super important for yourself, not even for the other person. But in Sweeney Todd, it's like I'm gonna slit some throats, you know. But of course, at the very end, he loses everything and loses his life, you know.
Yeah.
So it's a cautionary tale about revenge, but like I said, sometimes you want to slit some throats, you know, right? So,
What's a line from one of the songs?
Pretty women
Pretty women
sipping coffee. 'Tis your delight, sir, catching fire from one man to the next. 'Tis true, sir, love can still inspire.
Hey, your podcast gonna get censored by the algorithm.
Oh fuck! Yeah, it's spot on. It's spot on.
That was copyrighted.
My voice is spot on.
We did
Yeah.
not own the rights to Stephen Sondheim's score. Or, what was that last thing you want to leave me with?
I'm a sucker for musicals, but
Come on. Oh, you pressed the button.
Speaking of George A. Romero, have either of you seen the? I guess it would be considered a short film that came out like 2 years ago on Netflix. It was unfinished by George A. Romero. It's called The Amusement Park.
That's what Netflix is good for. They gotta do more stuff like that.
Yeah.
And they also did like the unreleased
What did Jack do?
what's the name? What's Citizen Kane? Wells. Orson Welles. The Wind. Oh my God.
Gone with the Wind.
Gone with the Wind. Yeah, Gone with the Wind.
Yeah.
The breath, the wind, something like that. It was great. But like it's this like 45-minute short film that George Romero never finished in the 70s, and they released it on Netflix. And it's this very abstract movie where this old man is sitting in this like all white room, and he's scared to leave. And when he does leave, he leaves into this big amusement park where everywhere he goes, he's being tormented by young people. And to the point where, and he doesn't know what's going on. He's confused and like to the point where like he gets attacked and has to retreat back to like the white room. And it was made as basically a PSA for
Getting old.
For dementia and the ageism and how young people treat their elderly, and how they should not do that. And it's really good. It's really good. More people should watch it.
I think that's actually a very prominent and important theme. And I think that's really interesting. And it goes both ways too, because what's interesting is looking out how intimidating it has to feel to be in the shoes of someone who's much older than we are now, and seeing the youth. You know what I mean? That's an intimidating thing, because you don't have it's one thing you really can't hold on to, or like multiply or make better with age. You know?
And it's great how they make it so abstract, because how does it feel to have dementia? I mean, like, it's probably pretty abstract. It's probably.
I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
That's a good segue into your guys' movie for today.
Yeah. So thank you, Mario Ricciardi.
Yeah, we really enjoyed having you.
He's got a new movie coming out. It doesn't have a name yet. I'm acting in it tomorrow. You got to check it out.
That's why I agreed to the podcast.
It's the plug. It's the plug portion.
Yeah, our massive fan base. Our wide reach.
All right, buddy. All right, cool. Have a good one, man. What time are we meeting up?
It's on the call sheet. I think it's like 6:15.
Tomorrow morning? PM.
And it'll be out at the Berlin Lake.
Okay.
It's about
all right.
hour drive.
Cool. All right, I'll be there.
See you guys.
Very excited for that. Great guy. Amazing guy. They say Mario's a great guy. I met him once. I said, wow, what a great guy. Such a great guy. And now we're getting close to the end of Trick or Treat. We got Brian Cox, the great Brian Cox. Class act. Great actor. You know what? My dad's here. What's a horror movie that you love, or that scared the shit out of you?
Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Tell us about Invasion of the Body Snatchers. What's your story? with Invasion of the Body Snatchers. I think this is the one that's working.
Okay.
So
Well, I was, dang it, I was probably sophomore year when I was at Notre Dame, and it was Halloween time, and we all went to a movie, and we got fairly herbed up beforehand. And I got to a point halfway or three-quarters of the way through the movie where it was just becoming so real to me. I felt I was in the movie and I had to leave the theater. I've never had an experience like that in movies.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
What
Yeah.
an amazing story.
Yeah, no, but Invasion of the Body Snatchers is great. I think the scariest part to me is when, at the end, if I remember correctly, everyone is like a pod person. Like they're all taken over, and you believe like the woman, the lead woman character, believes that Donald Sutherland is also still human, and she's approaching him, and he just goes, "Oh," and that's pretty freaky, man. That's pretty freaky.
The idea that like other people are not like what you think they are is kind of creepy.
Yeah, just like real life, man. Just like real life.
You're looking at somebody and you're like, you're not who you really are. You're not who you really are.
I used to smoke weed. I still do, but I used to too. I guess we could Let's talk about a few more until the movie ends. It's almost over, so
yeah.
We might as well.
We should call this the Trick or Treat commentary track.
Yeah.
It just has nothing to do with it.
I mean, it was probably a bad idea to choose Godfather Part 2 for the first one, because we obviously weren't going to
make it to 3 hours.
Make it all the way through that, but yeah. I was thinking, I'm looking up on the shelf here. We got The Thing.
True.
We got The Fly.
True.
We got Candyman.
Yeah.
And we got Alien.
Yeah.
And I was thinking Candyman.
Yeah.
I mean, out of all of those, I'd probably say Alien is my favorite.
Yeah.
Maybe The Thing.
But
I think the one I would want to talk about is Candyman.
It's hard to choose. But yeah, sure.
Candyman, I saw when I was pretty young, and it had more than almost any. Oh, this is great. If you're watching the movie along with us, bear with us, because this is just a great part.
Then you know what we're laughing at, so watch the movie.
Watch the fucking movie. More than... Oh, that's great. That's great.
Ham on my bones and they're full of daylight.
Yeah, more than most horror movies, I think Candyman has one of the richest atmospheres.
Yeah.
It fills your brain with like a fog, like a thick fog of just pure. You feel like you're there. You feel you could smell, you could and taste the air in Chicago.
Yeah.
And the score by Philip Glass is monumental. It's just absolutely incredible.
Something like that movie does. It has like a very like down the rabbit hole feel to it. But like the transitions, you know, like where like how the transition, and like I know that sounds silly, but like you really like the transitions take you to another world. You know, it feels like it, where like you go from like an ordinary world to to a more.
It's like well, I shouldn't even speak on this. There's so much to be said about the cultural significance.
Absolutely, yeah.
with like the black community,
Uh-huh.
and how it's about race relations in America,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
how
Tumultuous.
tumultuous.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Tumultuous. Is that right?
I'm pretty sure.
But yeah, and the idea of how the scary black man is following the innocent, beautiful white woman.
Yeah, and it's even set up like a slasher
yeah,
film.
yeah, and how you find out that the killer, the Michael Myers, Jason Voorhees character,
Uh-huh.
is actually the victim of the film.
Yeah.
He was tortured and killed by slave owners,
Uh-huh.
and it's just and when you get to the end where they have the giant bonfire,
Yeah, yeah.
and it's just, I remember seeing that the first time and it's just blowing me away.
Yeah.
Just absolutely incredible.
Uh-huh. It was kind of a surprise hit for us. Because I think we just watched it, but like we really did fall in love with it.
Yeah, I think we watched it randomly.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know why. Yeah.
We just picked it out of a hat, I think. And it turned out to be one of my favorite movies
like,
ever.
I will admit, like you said with the race relations stuff, there's a lot that like I don't know, about that, because being white, there's stuff I don't know. But it was fascinating to see in the film. I hope that means something,
Yeah, fuck you, Pinky.
Cracker.
But so I think we're getting closer to the end. Do you have anything else on your list, Damian?
I think I have two more things.
What do you have?
I have Snow White, because I thought like the original one.
Okay.
Just because when I watched that at a young age, and like there's some nightmarish stuff, like like where the queen tells that guy to go get Snow White's heart, and like he comes up behind her with the knife, like scary shit when you're a kid. And the last one, and I'm not even kidding about this. I am kind of, but not really. Is Bucky Larson Born to Be a Star?
Okay.
Because that movie is so ugly. It's so stupid.
I haven't seen it since we watched it the first time.
It's so bad, and like when you're watching it, it feels like a fucking horror movie. It's like a mushroom trip or something, like gone bad.
Doesn't he use like a Tic Tac as a condom or something?
Something with his tiny. He has a tiny. He's a porn star with a tiny penis.
Star, yeah, hilarious. Okay, so my response to that, I think that's a great like. Neither of those are like really horror movies, like, but and what I would say is like one of the first movies to just scare the shit out of me as a kid was Galaxy Quest.
Oh yeah, that's a great one to bring up.
Yeah. I was so thoroughly disturbed when they go to that planet. If you don't know Galaxy Quest, it's a parody of Star Trek with Tim Allen.
It's actually pretty good.
No, it's a great movie, but there's a part where they go to a planet with these little cute aliens, and one of them is limping, and he's sick, and you think like all his alien friends gather around him, and it makes you feel like, oh, they're gonna help him.
Yeah.
And then they eat him alive.
Yeah.
And that messed me up as a little kid. I couldn't sleep for days.
Yeah.
And
the movie just ended.
And yeah, I think that's a great way to end it.
Yeah.
That's the end of the podcast. That's the end of Michael Daughtry's
Trick or Treat.
Trick or Treat.
What a classic. I think we just nailed it right on time. So,
best Halloween movie. If you want to get in the spirit of Halloween, you watch Trick or Treat.
Yeah.
It just oozes Halloween spirit. And I'm Kevin.
And this is Damian.
And all right.
And I just fucked everything up.
I just fucked everything up.
God
damn it.